You're going to need it. That's 303-LAW-4040.
Winter isn't over just yet. In Colorado, your furnace has one job: to keep you warm. If it's been a while since your last tune-up, you're rolling the dice. Stoke here. ROX Rocks Heating and Air is local and honest. Get your furnace tuned up before the cold settles back in for only $39. Call ROX Rocks Heating and Air today or schedule online. Keep your home warm, keep your family safe, but only with ROX Rocks Heating and Air. Now play that jingle.
HVAC service, installation, repair. ROX Rocks Heating and Air.
Hi, I'm Terrell Davis, two-time world champion and Pro Football Hall of Famer. There is nothing more important than your health. That's why I made the smart move to invest in fitness equipment with Fitness Gallery. It's a game changer.
This February, save 25% off all primetime functional trainers, home gyms, and racks. Work out on your schedule on the equipment you choose from the safety and comfort of your own home. Save up to 50% off on select premium equipment. Visit one of Fitness Gallery's 7 convenient locations from Colorado Springs to Fort Collins.
Hi, I'm Brad Barnett, president and founder of Mountain High Appliance. This President's Day, enjoy huge savings at all of our showrooms. Whether you're replacing a single appliance or planning a full kitchen remodel, we've got you covered. From freezers starting at $199 to complete kitchen packages starting at only $19.99. Plus, save up to $4,200 on select KitchenAid packages. And our price match guarantee means you'll always receive the best pricing. When you think appliances, think Mountain High Appliance.
Mountain High Appliance, your favorite appliance store.
Thank you.
Not all college savings plans are created equal. College Invest is the only one that offers a 2026 Colorado tax deduction. Open one today and start saving for the future. collegeinvest.org.
KKFN and KKFN HD1 Longmont, Denver. You're listening to Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan. Welcome to Denver Sports Tonight, taking a look at the biggest stories in Denver sports. From your online home for the best opinions and information on the Broncos, Nuggets, Avalanche, Rockies, and more, DenverSports.com.
And it is Denver Sports Tonight on this Thursday night in the Mile High City. He's Marcello Romano. I'm Will Peterson. We will roll with you over the next hour as the second community planning meeting for a Broncos sports and entertainment district at Burnham Yard is underway at a rec center down there, right near where the proposed stadium site is. Cello, we were hoping tonight would be a stadium rendering night. Patrick Smythe came out this morning on social media and said, nope, no renderings tonight. Mike Kliss echoed that as well. At this point, I just want to see what the stadium's going to look like, right? You see so many cookie-cutter designs around the league, and you're hoping the Broncos do something unique. That said, we do have some aerial shots of the stadium. Going to be hard to describe on radio, but they're all over social media. Would encourage people to go there. It looks like the stadium's going to be between 8th and 11th. That 10th and Osage light rail station will be right there on the east side of the stadium. There's a tailgate area. There's some parking. I don't know if there's enough parking. We're waiting to get more information on that. I will let you glance at this just so you're informed as well, kind of what we're seeing from this community meeting right now. Again,
Gotcha.
we want to see renderings, right? That's going to be the thing that gets people excited, not, well, the stadium's going to be between 8th and 11th.
What's taking so long? I guess my question is, this week, I think somebody just posted out on Twitter the new stadium in Nashville, like how they're ahead of schedule, and then followed that up with the new stadium in Buffalo, which opens up this year. And I'm just wondering, we found out about, I think Zach kind of said it best, is that they haven't officially said that's the location. Now, they're doing all this stuff. We believe that's where it's going to be. But as far as, I just don't know what's taking so long. That seems like an easy process, right? The renderings that you speak of. They spare no expense on anything. So it just seems like it's being a little delayed, and I kind of start wondering why about that.
Well, I think I can answer your question because this is a shot coming from Kyle Frederickson of the Denver Post inside that rec center down there. There are a ton of members from the community. Our own Andrew Mason is in the building currently as well. I think the Broncos are going about this in the right way. It's an empty rail yard for the most part, but there's still a lot of residential around there. There's still a lot of people who have been there a long time. I don't think they just want to come in with a bulldozer until they've heard concerns from the community and figure out how they're going to disrupt this area for the next 5-6 years. And then after that, once the new stadium's built, I'm just answering honestly. I think they're just taking plenty of feedback before they want to break any ground.
I got you. I just that was my one question. I thought we'd be a little bit further along.
Yeah, 2031. I mean, how long does it take to build a stadium, right?
It took, 5 years, right?
Yeah, breaking ground. By this time next year, I would hope some ground is broken.
Yeah, you'd have to be if you want to keep that timeline intact.
Now, the good news is they lease in Power Field at Mile High. I guess you could always extend the lease for 1 year if you needed to and play in the new stadium in 2032. That wouldn't be people's favorites, but it's not like there's plans to take a wrecking ball in 2031. I assume a wrecking ball will go through that thing at some point, but I don't think the Broncos are going to be scrambling to find a place to play football. I think if it did all kind of get pushed back a year, they would just play one more season at Empower Field.
And I think that's why I think maybe I'm a little antsy about it, because it's like this is the one time where, listen, when we got Empower Field built, there was you had to put that, like, people had to vote. It came out of taxpayers' money to help get that stadium built. You're talking about the wealthiest owners in the game, and we always, credit the dude from Jurassic Park. Like, spare no expense. So I'm excited just to see with what they come up with, because they have renderings. You got to assume they have them by now, right?
I would assume they have renderings.
They're already going through them. They're probably voting on them within the organization. So I'm just excited to see that, because at this new level of what the NFL has become in these stadiums, these basically like small little cities, right? Started out, and I think Foxborough was probably the first. But now that they've gone around the league, they've probably gathered ideas that they like, dislike, and now I want to see it. So I'd be interested to see what happens today, and then if they give you a timeline of when you might be able to see something.
Yeah, definitely. Again, these are just aerial shots of the layout. We're not seeing anything with how the stadium would actually look. Again, just going on this parking, I don't know where people are going to park. And 10th and Osage, great light rail station, don't get me wrong, because you won't have to walk under the bridge and all that. People have done light rail to Empower Field at Mile High, but you're going to need more cars, right? Like physically more trains, so you can pack a train, send it off, new empty train comes in, pack that, send it off. I mean, with the current way it's done, there's just not going to be enough infrastructure. So that's, you know what? Credit to the Broncos for having community planning meetings, because this is the kind of stuff that comes up. How are you getting 80,000 people in and out of here with not enough parking and one light rail stop? Like, these are the logistics they're working through.
And, well, I think they have those answers. So you're saying this is being laid out to the public to either object or say we're cool with that.
Yeah, I showed you the picture of the rec center. I mean, it's not all just media there. There are just people who live in the area concerned. And frankly, I'd be concerned if a giant stadium was going right next to my house. I'd want to know what was up as well. So that's going on right now. Not as exciting, not quite as juicy as we thought it might be when they first announced this a couple days ago. But still, we're definitely going to learn stuff. And if we learn stuff in the next hour, we will pass it along to you. All right, I want to start with this, though, because I go to NFL.com today. And an official headline on NFL.com is ranking all 63 starting quarterbacks from the 2025 NFL season. This thing's featured about the fifth headline down. They're promoting this. The league itself is promoting this article. And it's written by Nick Shook, who's an Around the NFL writer. Not super familiar with Nick's work, but he's obviously done well for himself if he's writing for the official website of the league. And he ranks all 63 starting QBs from the 2025 NFL season. First of all, 63 seems like an alarming number. That's basically 2 per team that started a game this year. But second, what caught my attention is, before I open this article, Cello, and I know you know where Bo Nix is, but before I opened this article, I was thinking Bo Nix would be anywhere from 7 to 10 on the list, was kind of where I was expecting him to be. How about you?
I would have said maybe a little bit higher, but certainly in the top 10. Especially with the season that he ended up having. I know we kind of harped a lot on the inconsistency, but Bo Nix for 2 seasons in, I don't know how he's not in that conversation. We're kind of leading to what it ended up being, but I would have said, 6 to 10.
We had similar ranges. Bo Nix is not in the top 10. He's not 11th. He's not 12th. He's not 13th. He's not 14th. He's not 15th. He's not 16th. He's not 17th. Bo Nix is 18th on this list. The NFL is officially promoting a list from Nick Shook that says Bo Nix was the 18th best quarterback of the 63 who started in the league this year. Let's dissect this, man, because this kind of blows my mind. All right?
Yeah.
Tier 1. He's got Matthew Stafford, Josh Allen, Dak Prescott, Drake May, Justin Herbert, Trevor Lawrence. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Was this done prior to the Super Bowl?
No, this was done after the Super Bowl. This was done in the last 24 hours.
And you said Drake May was where?
4th.
Wow. 4th. You put it in, just real quick, I'm trying to pull it up here. Who's the very top?
So it's Stafford.
Yep. Agreed. I agree with that.
Josh Allen.
Yep.
Dak Prescott. Seems high.
Yep.
Drake May.
Nope.
Justin Herbert.
Nope.
Trevor Lawrence.
Nope.
And that's tier 1. That's your first 6 in tier 1.
Can we get Herbert and Lawrence to win a playoff game first?
That'd be a good start. Lawrence did actually win one playoff game when he beat Herbert a
Oh, yeah,
handful of years ago.
Was that the comeback game?
Yeah, someone had to win the game.
Yeah.
But no,
right.
he couldn't get the job done against the Bills this year. And obviously, Justin
Listen, we're going to
Herbert's
sound
never
like
won a playoff
homers
game.
here today because of where he's ranked. And I don't think that this, you could say even if it was like 12, maybe you're like, okay, maybe that's understandable. 18, you're in the bottom half of the league in quarterback play, and in 2 seasons you've gone, what, 24 and 10?
Well, 14-3, 10-7, yeah, 24-10, plus a 25th win in the playoffs.
Yeah. How are you 18? How are you going to even justify that?
I don't get it. I'll tell you what he wrote about Bo Nix, and we'll tell you who else is in front of him. He says, quote, Bo Nix didn't find a true sense of consistency until after Thanksgiving, diluting his overall 2025 resume. Still, if what we saw from Nix down the stretch is a preview of his future, Broncos fans have plenty of reason to be excited. So he said, I put him 18th because everything he did before Thanksgiving. Two retorts on that. One, they still won. They're still winning a lot of football games. They were 1-2 and then lost one more game the rest of the entire regular season. And 2, he led some remarkable comebacks before Thanksgiving as well and was super clutch. And 3, because now I want to add a third point, he had a reliable running game before Thanksgiving that Sean Payton was featuring heavily in J.K. Dobbins. So for this writer to act like Bo played like crap before we all ate turkey, I got a problem with that.
Who else is out on the list?
You want to know who else is
there?
there?
Yeah, because this is
because we're already annoyed with Dak and Herbert. So wait till I continue. Sam Darnold at 7.
Okay.
Caleb Williams at 8.
Okay.
Caleb Williams is not 10 spots better than Bo Nix. Come on.
I don't agree with that, but I think he's probably properly placed on that ranking.
I'm not saying you're agreeing. I'm just saying, like, on the surface, he's got Caleb at 8 and Bo at 18. Come on.
But I think Caleb is probably in that area. I would have said, 5 to 10. He would have been in that second tier.
Jared Goff at 9.
Understandable.
Joe Burrow at 10.
Yep.
Lamar Jackson at 11.
This is where he's kind of making his case for himself. And this is just going off of the 2025 season, correct?
Oh, yeah. This is just for this year.
Burrow didn't even play a majority of the season.
He played 8 games.
So, yeah, and missed, 11?
Daniel Jones at 12. Also got hurt. Patrick Mahomes at 13. Now we get to tier 3. Jordan Love at 14. Brock Purdy at 15. Aaron Rodgers at 16. Baker Mayfield at 17. Bo Nix at 18. What are we doing putting Aaron Rodgers ahead of Bo Nix? Come on, man.
Not good, dude.
Really? I mean, I just told everyone the 17 quarterbacks listed ahead of Bo Nix this year. I understand. They want clicks. They're also the NFL, and they're pumping this up.
It's also like nobody believes in this team. After going 14-3, being the number 1 seed in the AFC, and your quarterback gets hurt with 3 plays left in a divisional game, which would have got him playing in the AFC Championship game, and you'll never be able to convince me otherwise that if he plays, they win that game, and they likely have an opportunity to win the Super Bowl. Where is the love lost on this team? Like the Patriots are still, they dropped in the odds, I think, but the Broncos are sitting at 12th best odds to win Super Bowl 60 after being the number 1 seed. Like, my goodness, like there's nationally, what are they looking at? And keep in mind, you've rid yourself of the Russell Wilson dead money. Mm-hmm. And you're going to have flexibility, as George Payton likes to say, in free agency, and you're going to get more players. You assume now you're going to start to be able to build the full roster that you want. You're probably not going to have a better record next season, but you're going to be probably a better football team. Where's the love lost for this team nationally?
Yeah, is it a Sean Payton beef? Like, is there just not a lot of love?
Most people like Sean.
Well, I know folks in the league office don't like Sean. I mean, that's been pretty well documented.
Yeah.
The only coach who's ever gotten suspended for a year that I know of. But just to be clear, because some texters are asking, this is from Nick Shook of NFL.com, and here's how he rationalizes this list that Bo Nix is ranked the 18th best quarterback. This is the final post-Super Bowl 60 rankings of every quarterback who started a game during the 2025 NFL campaign. Bold, based on play from the regular season and the playoffs. Here are my rankings 1 through 63. So this dude announces this is also based on the playoffs, and yet puts Drake May at 4, who threw for 81 yards in Denver, and puts Bo Nix at 18, who played one playoff game and was unreal, outdueled Josh Allen, threw an absolutely clutch touchdown to Marvin Mims in the final minute and a half to give Denver a lead before Buffalo tied it, threw some nice moon balls in OT that Buffalo's DBs were all grabby and got him in field goal range to win the game. So you're going to base this on the playoffs when Drake May just went out and embarrassed himself in Super Bowl 60. Bo plays one playoff game, wins it, yet he's at 18 and Drake May is at 4. This guy's almost telling on himself that this is also based on the playoffs because it's like he had a draft pre-written and he didn't feel like doing the work to change it after watching the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but to your point earlier, he has Caleb Williams at 8. You want to know the similarity in stats between Caleb and Bo?
Yeah, let me hear.
Well, Caleb completed 58% of his passes, threw for 3,942 yards. Bo Nix completed 63 and basically 63.5% of his passes. Same amount of yards, a 10-yard difference, 11-yard difference. 25 touchdowns, 11 picks. Caleb Williams, 27 touchdowns, 7 picks. That's just based on him being a former number 1 overall pick, right?
Yes.
And having some semblance of success this year. Bo Nix, there's been points when he's been struggled or has struggled, and the inconsistency's been frustrating, and we've been critical of that here more than anywhere. But for him to be in the bottom half of the league, I don't know. I don't know if you could even do that. Aaron Rodgers is above him? Come on, man.
Brock Purdy's above him. I mean, Brock had 22 touchdowns and 13 picks, both worse than Bo. And again, just to sort of back this up, Bo Nix was 8th in the league this year in passing yards. 8th. He was tied for 9th in touchdowns. So in the two most important statistical categories for quarterbacks, yards and touchdowns, Bo was in the top 10. You could almost argue that should put him in the top 10, and then he gets a bump for, oh, by the way, he won 14 games. And the guy's incredibly clutch, and he led comeback after comeback after comeback. He knocked off big bad Josh Allen in a playoff game. And that's it. That's where the Bo Nix, tape stops, unfortunately, because he fractured his ankle. Listen, I get it. It's list season, this and that. If this was Joe Blow in his mom's basement, I wouldn't bring it up. But it's a guy writing for NFL.com, and it's featured front and center on the front page of NFL.com. And he's got Bo Nix at 18th. Some of the company Bo's keeping. We told you Baker's 17. He's got Jalen Hurts at 19. C.J. Stroud at 20. Bryce Young at 21. And then we get into silly season. Then we go to New Orleans and New York, whatever.
Where'd Russell Wilson rank on that list?
That's a good question. Let's find out. He checked in.
You said 63, right?
Yeah, he checked in at 45th on the list. Our old pal Russ. Where do you think Stiddy checked in, by the way?
Oh, are they? So they're counting that one game, huh?
Oh yeah, anyone who appeared in the regular season or the postseason.
And there's 63. So give me 59.
He's at 54. Jarrett Stidham at 54. Only ahead of Cooper Rush, Clayton Tune, Chris Oladukin. We saw him on Christmas night. Trey Lance, Gardner Minshew, Kenny Pickett, Tanner McKee, Brady Cook, and Max Brosmer. He's the dude who went up to Seattle and just was like throwing pick sixes left and right. He
For
checks
the Vikings?
Yeah, he checks in at 63rd on this list, dead last.
Where do they have McCarthy on that list? Where's his classmates?
Yeah, that's a good question. J.J. McCarthy's 33.
Okay.
We know Drake May's 4 and Caleb Williams is 8. J.J.'s at 33. Jaden's at 38. And Michael Penix Jr. is at... 34.
Jaden dropped down to 38.
38 on his list.
Wow. Talk about a sophomore slump, bud.
I guess I'll give the writer at least a little bit of credit that he did say it was for this year, and this year Jaden Daniels was not a very good quarterback. Only played in 7 games, only threw 8 touchdowns. Commanders going to the NFC title game a couple years ago was obviously a magical story, and then they fell way back down to earth. But I think you're onto something, Cello. What's up with the national disrespect for this team? I said Sean, and you weren't really buying that. What theories do you have of why the Broncos were a broken ankle away from playing in the Super Bowl, potentially winning the Super Bowl, and yet no one still wants to give them their flowers? I mean, we talked about it earlier this week. I talked about it with Anilo with the odds makers, too.
Mm-hmm.
They have the 12th best Super Bowl odds, the 3rd best odds to win their own division. Why is that?
I'm trying to figure it out, knowing like you're trying to project, right, is what's going to happen this coming season. And I don't know how you couldn't get better. Mike Shanahan famously said it takes 3 years for a quarterback to really kind of get in the groove in an offense. Now, you can make an argument that lately that's a little bit faster. Look at how quickly Stafford had success in L.A., how quickly Darnold had success in not only Seattle this year, but in Minnesota last year. So he's going to improve. You have more flexibility as far as your finances are concerned to go out and get skill position players that you've lacked. And it probably goes down to them winning, 11 one-score games this year.
A lot of very close games.
There was not any real dominant performances, save for the Cowboy game, and their best game that they probably played all year, it was the Green Bay game at home, where it seemed like everything was clicking and you were going against a quality opponent. I don't know how you win your division and you're flipped to 3rd. And the only team that you have them ahead of is the Raiders, right? So you have the Chargers, which I think is everyone's kind of darling this offseason.
Yeah, they're like plus 170, Chiefs like plus 175,
and the Chiefs
plus
like, when's Pat Mahomes going to be back?
He's targeting week 1, everything we've heard.
I'm here. So he's gonna you can wish in one hand and poo in the other and see which fills up faster, but I mean that's a pretty quick turnaround. I know the medical advances have come quite a way, but for him to be playing week 1, I don't think that's going to happen. So I think he'd probably miss even just likely like a quarter of the season, right?
So is your theory then that they're being disrespected because they won too many close games? Didn't have enough sexy blowouts?
I think people around the nation, I don't know, it would be cool to ask folks, but I think they think it's like a smoke and mirrors, kind of just like a magical season.
Yeah, but it was a magical season that should have resulted in a trip to Santa Clara.
We know that.
Yeah.
I don't think around the nation really sees that, but it is kind of a quick switch because I kept making that point all season long is like they were still getting great odds this season when Bo was healthy. You're going to assume Bo's coming back healthy.
Yes.
I don't know what would have changed folks' perception on it.
Yeah, and that's looking ahead. This is looking back in terms of the ranking of the 63 this year. Oscar's having a little bit of fun with you. Says, well, if he's 18th, he's not in the bottom half.
You know what I mean?
I know what
32 starting quarterbacks.
I know what you meant. Hey, we've got some news out of this Broncos community meeting that's going on right now. Within the last minute, we have found out a timeline. Cello, per several beat writers in the rec center down there at Burnham Yard, the Broncos hope to start construction on their new stadium Q1 2027, just a year away from breaking ground according to their plans. Okay, so there you have it. They're at this community meeting. Our guy Andrew Mason's there. We're hoping for renderings. We don't get it. I said if there was news, we'd pass it along. There you go. The first big piece of news from this event tonight. 1 year from now, about Q1 2027 is when the Broncos want to break ground on this new stadium. What's your reaction to that?
That's surprising to me. I thought it'd be sooner. But when you said it a minute ago, before we even knew this, I was like, if they haven't broken ground a year from now, then they're really behind schedule. Because then you're putting it up, 4 years? You're going to have 4 years to complete it. Basically, maybe 4.5, right? Before it would open that fall.
Yeah, if it was opening in September of 31. Yeah, 4.5 years.
So we have to wait for a calendar year until we get to see Penner and all the group with the funky shovels and, digging in.
The old photo op, the hard hats.
Yeah.
Some more news coming out of this meeting in the last 3 minutes from our guy Parker Gabriel of the Denver Post. The Broncos have continued to add land around Burnham Yard, and the presentation tonight now says 150 acres. That can still change some, but Stephen Wilson, Development Project Administrator for the City County of Denver, said the belief is the outermost perimeter of the area is set. So continuing to add land means to me that they have bought more land. We obviously know there was some chatter about Denver water and how was this and that going to work, but 150 acres. It sounds like that's what we're settling on for a stadium, an entertainment district. I can picture 1 acre in my head. Times that by 150. Okay, we're talking about a damn big piece of land here that the Broncos have acquired.
Yeah, so it's a lot of work to be done in the area because it is like it's right off. You said Denver water? That's where like the Platte's running by there, correct? So and it's like it's a lot of area, but it's kind of condensed too. Like
it doesn't look like much from the highway.
From I know. I keep wondering when you drive by there, like how are you gonna fit all that in there? But maybe that's why it's taking a little bit longer before they will break ground on it.
So those are the pieces of news. 150 acres have been acquired by the Broncos, and they're hoping to start construction 1 year from now at Burnham Yard. Here's a quote from Damani Leach that's coming out in the last 15 minutes. He emphasizes that the new stadium at Burnham Yard will be privately funded by the Walton Penner Group, but, quote, we hope and expect to get support for necessary infrastructure improvements from the state and from the city. Okay, I think that's key as well. Hey, we're paying for this thing, but we're paying for the new stuff. The infrastructure, if that needs work, we're going to be tapping into the state and the city of, let's be honest, it's an abandoned rail yard for the most part. Mm-hmm. I got to imagine there's certain things in there that the Broncos are going to say, yeah, we're not paying for that because you guys have ignored this for X amount of years or whatever. But key quote there that, this is not just some billionaire coming in and doing their thing. There is going to be collaboration between the Broncos and the city.
Yeah, for sure. There have to be. Where it's located, especially. Maybe if they did one of these other areas that they were talking about, or maybe basically kind of dangling out almost as a threat, whether it was Lone Tree or Aurora or whatever, but you're going to need it to get that stuff done there. What's the one thing it has to have for you? Like, what's the one thing that when you're envisioning it and you wanted to see a rendering, what was the one thing that you were seeing in your head?
A dope retractable roof. Like something that looks slick as heck, can open and close in, I don't know, a half hour, and you're going to be able to do the Final Fours and the Super Bowls and the concerts. But if the Miami Dolphins are here in January for a playoff game,
you leave it open.
Open that sucker up. How about you?
I'd probably say the same thing, or just like an entryway. I think one of the things that I think is cool in some of these newer stadiums is how they have like the plexiglass where the players are walking out onto the field. So if you get those seats, you get to see them as they come out of the locker room and they head towards the field. I think Jerry World has that. I want to say Minnesota has something like that. But I think we're going to be surprised with what we get. We're going to get something that we never thought we were going to. When we finally get a rendering, we're like, damn, that's a good idea. That's cool.
And Damani Leach just actually addressed that. I'm seeing this from Luca Evans. No renderings tonight. Quote, our focus is on the community outside the stadium and how it connects to the broader community around it. Here's my thinking on that. Because I thought just a few days ago we were going to get renderings when I saw this initial email. I think the Broncos probably felt like renderings tonight would be a little bit of slap in the face to the community of like, here's what we're doing.
Yeah.
They didn't want to do renderings tonight because they wanted to get feedback and maybe tweak some things before they show the official plan. That makes sense?
Yeah. I mean, it'll be cool, though. We can't wait for it to actually be dropped. And we got to wait for a year for just even the breaking of the ground.
Yeah. All right, Dante Gomez has something on this. Let's hit on that as we continue to get more news from this Broncos planning meeting coming up next.
Does Sean Payton need to light a fire in his running back room?
NFL stands for not for long. Either you got it or you don't, but you better come with it, period. Go out there, stack that room up, and force there to be some competition. That's going to bring the best out of everybody.
Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Hi, Dan Cicchini with Dunright. Great pricing options and bank financing? You bet. Kitchens, baths, counters, and floors, finished basements, windows, and doors. Done right since 1985. You have our word, we'll treat you right at Dunright. Visit drhi.com. Thanks.
Hey, Mom. It's me.
Oh my gosh, you'll never believe what I just opened for Valentine's Day. A sapphire ring from Hellsberg. Just like the one I lost years ago. Remember how excited I was when you gave it to me? I cannot believe you remembered that story. I guess you were right. I really found the one.
This Valentine's Day, create a moment that means something with up to 40% off gifts at Hellsberg. Shop in store or at hellsberg.com.
Hoops in Hamilton on the DU campus is intense this season.
And the Denver Pioneers have scored more points than any game in program history.
The threes are flying and the atmosphere is electric. Join us to create a home court advantage as conference play heats up.
Goes down low, feeds Wysocki, up with a two-handed dunk.
Group discounts and one-of-a-kind experiences await. Denver basketball. Get your tickets today at DenverPioneers.com.
I remember brushing my hair and looking down and thinking, oh my gosh, do I have any hair left?
I used to look at women with thick, beautiful hair and think, why doesn't my hair look like that?
My thinning hair is making me feel so old.
If you want thick, healthy, gorgeous hair, then you need hair volume from New Nordic. With clinically proven ingredients like apple extract, biotin, and millet, hair volume nourishes your hair follicles to promote thicker, healthier-looking hair. Say goodbye to shedding, thin, and dull hair, and hello to thick, healthy hair with hair volume.
Since taking hair volume, the shedding has all but stopped.
Now, instead of being jealous of other women's hair, I have friends who are jealous of mine.
My hairdresser couldn't believe the difference in my hair. Now she's using hair volume too.
Available as a tablet or delicious gummy, Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com, or find Hair Volume in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
We know exactly what you're not thinking about right now. Wiper blades. But now that you are, take a moment to think about how Rain-X is the #1 brand of wiper blades in America. Why? Because Rain-X thinks about wiper blades all the time. We obsess, so you don't have to. Simply install our blades and then think about literally anything else. So choose Rain-X, America's #1 wiper blades, and then go back to not thinking about wiper blades. Rain-X. Outsmart the elements.
At the UPS Store, we know being a small business owner means holiday time is still go time. Still get those orders shipped time. And still re-up on stamps and supplies time. That's why this upcoming holiday, while others close up shop, we'll be open. And happy to help you keep being unstoppable. Come into your local store today. Most locations are independently owned. Product services, pricing, and hours of operation may vary. See Center for details. The UPS Store. Be unstoppable.
Your heat seems to be running a lot more than it should. Why? You might be surprised to learn it's because the insulation in your windows has failed. When that happens, your heat leaks out and the cold gets in. Talk to the pros at Window Nation and get new windows with big savings during Window Nation's Buy 4 Windows, Get 4 free sale. Plus, you could get them with 0 down, 0 monthly payments, and 0 interest for 2 years. And ask how you could get a pair of Icon Pass 2-day sessions. Don't wait to put an end to your window problems. Schedule a quote now at windownation.com.
The right financial strategies can make a huge difference, especially if you're nearing retirement. Adam Mueller talks retirement strategies with Mile High Money. Saturday mornings at 8 on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textingterms.us. Texting enrolls you for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply or play. Stop, opt out. Terms and conditions apply to the earnings promotion.
Do you have caregiving experience as a parent, teacher, nanny, coach, or in another similar role? Hop Skip Drive is looking for experienced caregivers who want to help students in their community by driving them to and from school. Earn up to $50 per ride with Hop Skip Drive's welcome promotion, all while helping your community. If you have your own vehicle that is no more than 10 years old, a clean driving record, and at least 5 years of caregiving experience, you could become a Hop Skip Drive care driver. Just text ROAD to 323232 to get started right now. Hop Skip Drive gives you the flexibility to set your own schedule and earn competitive pay. It's simple. Drive in your free time and make a real difference for students right in your neighborhood. Don't wait. Text ROAD to 323232 right now. Text ROAD to 323232 and start earning up to $50 per ride during Hop Skip Drive's welcome promotion period. That's ROAD to 323232. Text ROAD to 323232 now.
It's Denver Sports Tonight on Denver Sports Station 104.3 The Fan.
All right, so we're getting some news out of this Broncos community planning meeting near Burnham Yard that they are having right now. If you missed it, the number one newsworthy thing thus far is the Broncos are hoping to break ground on a new stadium 1 year from now, Q1 of 2027. They've also acquired 150 acres. Sounds like the city is content that the 150 acres are going to contain everything on this plan. Dante had a question about the Broncos Stadium he wanted to run by Cello and I.
I did. And you guys were talking about what you most want to see out of the new stadium here. Where are you guys at as far as real grass versus turf? With a retractable roof, real grass could be a possibility. We've also seen I think Phoenix definitely has it, or at least the Cardinals, I mean. I think Vegas also does it where they have it's like a toaster where they slide
they can roll the
tray
field
of the grass into the stadium. How important do you think the surface is to Broncos ownership and to you guys?
I think it's huge, but I'm like old school with that. I love the natural surface. And a lot of these injuries that we've seen, you can look and try and point to like the Achilles and the torn ACLs because of some of these new turf fields. I think they've even come a long way. Well, it's come a hell of a long way from when I was a kid when they were actually playing on AstroTurf, man. But my preference would be I like to see grass stains and mud if and that kind of crap happen in a football game if the weather is bad, but that's just my opinion on it.
Yeah, I think just playing on a natural surface is really important to me. You hear these horror stories about MetLife Stadium and how much these guys are like, if I go play there, I'm going to tear my ACL. And look at the Jets and Giants. I mean, they're bad. They're poorly run franchises, but they also feel like they have a lot of injuries too, and they play half their home games there. I think even with a roof, you got to go grass, and you figure out what's best for growing the grass and keeping it healthy.
What do you think, Dante?
I'm with you. I think real grass is very important to the players. Obviously, they prefer playing on real grass for the most part from everything you hear about that. And Broncos ownership seems to really care about their players. So I feel like they would go the extra mile to put real grass in there. However, they have to do that. And I think that helps lure free agents here as well. So I think it'll matter to them, and I think it'll matter to the people in the stand, and I think it'll matter to the players on the field.
Some other quotes coming down from this press conference or community meeting. The Broncos don't want to build a stadium with parking lots, but instead with an entire community around it. And I appreciate that because you see those shots of, the stadiums where it's just stadium parking lot. Like I think at Dodger Stadium, and those just sprawling kind of ugly parking lots, and it's just everyone comes and parks their car and goes in and there's nothing else to do. I think that sounds great on the surface, Cello, but also it's like, well, how do you get 80,000 people in and out of here without parking lots, right? Like that's a fair concern there.
You're going to have it. Like even the aerial shots now, even if you did an aerial shot right now over in Bauer Field, just the outside of the stadium, it's all asphalt, man. Like you're going to have to do it some way or another. It'd be cool if there was a way that you could have your own little bullet train that takes you right into the stadium, but the reality of that isn't even close. So have to have it, dude.
This is coming from our own Andrew Mason in the last handful of minutes. What the Broncos plan to have done by 2031 is the stadium and entertainment district. For the future, they plan to develop the north and south ends of the property with mixed-use buildings and open areas. So I think that's another thing. We're talking about timeline here. Okay, you break ground, you got 4.5 years. Well, in those 4.5 years, they want the stadium and the entertainment district done. And again, based on Mace's reporting, they're leaving the window open of, okay, and then come 2031, once this is functioning and we're playing here, we're going to do more on the north side. We're going to do more on the south side as well. So I know construction scares people. I think what we've just learned from Mace is when they get to 31, it's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be state-of-the-art, but they're not done.
No, not at all. It's more of what I'm taking out of it is I'm excited for it, but it's more just hurry up and wait. And I know, and I'm not trying to diminish the amount of work that the Broncos organization is doing within the community and whatnot, because I think it's probably thorough, and they have to do a lot of it, and they've done probably quite a bit of work already. It's just as a fan, you're like, you and I with you. When we first saw it, it was like, oh, man, we're going to get to an idea of what it's going to look like. We're not there yet. So it's just hurry up and wait.
It is, but we are learning stuff tonight at least. I was worried this was going to be, just maybe a meeting to have a meeting. It doesn't sound like that. It sounds like a lot of information is being revealed.
So that's good. All right, real quick, back to our Bo Nix conversation. We were talking about this list that NFL.com did ranking the 63 QBs and that played a game this year, and Bo Nix checked in at number 18.
Real quick, how many Super Bowl trophies are in this new stadium when it opens?
I'll go. I was going to say 5. That's greedy. I'll go 4. I'll say they get 1 between now and the stadium opens. How about you?
I think that's fair. Who's the head coach in 2031?
Davis Webb.
Wow.
I don't know that. Obviously, I'm just guessing. You put me on the spot here. Do you think Sean Payton's still coaching in 2031? That would be a long time. That'd be almost another decade in Denver.
I think a lot of that depends on the success he has over the next 2 seasons.
Because the original 5-year deal, he's entering year 4 of that 5-year deal.
Yeah, so, I mean, if he gets one at that point, his legacy, which I think matters a lot to him, is solidified. Be the first coach to win a Super Bowl with 2 different franchises. Like, I think it would be I hope it happens. But we also have seen what everyone thinks about the Broncos around the country, and especially in Vegas with those odds. Take that number. I think take that number.
Yeah,
man.
It's a good number. It's a nice, juicy number.
Because then you have news like you're about to talk about again with where Bo Nix is ranked on this list. That's just another chip on that guy's shoulder.
Yeah, I mean, putting him 18th of QBs last year is ridiculous. And this is a good point from the 9632. I saw a list today on ESPN where Bo was number 4 from his draft class, and I know exactly what they're talking about. Mina Kimes came out with her re-rankings of the 2024 QB class, and she had Drake at 1, Caleb at 2, Jaden at 3, and Bo at 4. I don't know how in your right mind you can put Jaden Daniels ahead of Bo Nix right now. It's a what have you done for me league, and Jaden Daniels didn't do jack squat in his sophomore year. And Bo Nix led his team to 14 wins and the number 1 seed in the AFC. And if he doesn't break his ankle, he's playing in a Super Bowl. More disrespect from Mina Kimes, who's a big-time national voice.
Knowing what you know now, where would you have selected him?
Bo?
Out of those guys.
First.
So ahead of Caleb now. If you got to redraft, we went back in time, you could say, I'm going to take this player first. You would take him over.
I'd go Bo, Caleb, Drake, Jaden.
Okay.
How about you?
I probably think, if I'm being honest with myself, I'd probably go Caleb 1, maybe Bo 2, and that's close with him and Drake, and then Jaden in the 4th spot.
Yeah, and I get it. You can only play who you're in front of, but based on what we saw in the Super Bowl and his lackluster postseason performance, isn't there something to this whole New England played the easiest schedule of all time?
We went into that Super Bowl talking about Sam Darnold seeing ghosts, right? And that's why I didn't believe that the Seahawks were going to do it. I thought at some point or another that would rear its ugly head. Drake May has to watch out for that going into next year, because at the end of that game or at the end of the season, with the amount of pressure he saw from the Broncos, even going back to the Chargers game and the Texans game, he's going to have to take a long break, and hopefully he doesn't come back with happy feet, because it was so easy for him for a majority of the season until what happened in the postseason. And the other night, there was a time, when in the Super Bowl, he got bumped by his running back and just fell down and conceded the sack.
Right.
This is an athletic quarterback we're talking about. He didn't run like he did against the Broncos in that game. That was one of those plays where I was like, man, if that's Bo, he goes out and around the other side and either runs it or finds somebody open. You don't just fall down.
In an alternate universe, Matt Prater misses that field goal, and Bo Nix gets to play in the Super Bowl, right? Because if Prater misses the field goal, they never go to overtime against Buffalo. He never breaks his ankle. He probably beats the Patriots, and he's the one playing in Super Bowl 60. All right, coming up next, it was an eventful day in Italy for several Avalanche players. We'll fill you in on who did what.
Could major changes be on the horizon for the Colorado Avalanche?
If you do not make it past the second round, you have to either fire Jared Bednar and or break up this core. If you're not able to get out of the second round, you got to make massive changes.
Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Snapshot from Progressive wasn't created for just anybody. Oh no, we made it for you. Smooth accelerators. When that light turns green, you're off. Like a warm knife through firm butter. Going from 0 to the speed limit in an appropriate amount of time. Sure, your car has horsepower, but your horses prance around as silky smooth as your right foot. Fancy Prancerton.
With Snapshot, safe drivers like you get personalized rates based on your driving habits. Sign up today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
Are your investments in the right accounts? What's best, traditional or Roth? Are you receiving all available tax deductions? Are you paying as little in tax as you can? These are all questions you can't afford to get wrong. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth, and in many cases, it's not what you make, but it's what you keep that makes the real difference. Trajan Wealth and Trajan Tax work closely together exclusively. No more guessing about whether you should do a Roth conversion, or if maxing out your 401k is really the best option. Our nationally recognized fiduciary advisors and CPA team work in tandem to make sure your tax strategy works with your investment strategy. We'll even do your tax preparation. One team, one strategy. Isn't it time for a second opinion? Call Trajan today, 720-204-8100. That's 720-204-8100.
Trajan Wealth, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Additional services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures and accreditation at TrajanWealth.com.
Men, it's the new year, and for many of us, it's a time of deciding to make positive changes in our lives. This is Jeff for the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, and if you're suffering with erectile dysfunction and are tired of the frustration and embarrassment ED causes, you should call the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic today, because there probably isn't a better resolution you can make than to be done with ED. You see, ED doesn't just affect you, it can also affect your partner, even if they don't talk about it. But here's some great news. If you're like most guys, the treatments at the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic will give you back your sex life, because our protocols have success rates that work in well over 90% of cases. Seriously, you might even find you're performing like you haven't in years. So, make an appointment and get ED out of your life. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 720-440-7900 or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com. That's RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com. We have 5 offices across the Front Range to serve you.
Dan Jacobs with 303 Law 4040 and Jacobs Law with another cool story to share. James called 303 Law 4040, and he's like a lot of our clients, not looking to get rich, but he just didn't want to get stuck with a bunch of medical bills. So we met with James like we do all of our 303 Law 4040 clients in person, and it's a good thing we did because we noticed James did not look so good. We sent him to the hospital to get checked out, and they did wind up admitting him. In the end, we got him feeling better and $125,000. He was over the moon. He came into the office to pick up his check and rang that victory bell. And the really cool part is James surprised us with a check of his own, a donation so we could keep the best free meal in Denver coming each and every first and third Thursday. If you've been injured, you may be like James, not looking to get rich, but not sure what to do. That's why we're here to help. Just give us a call at 303-LAW-4040. Go ahead, save that number in your phone. You never know when you're going to need it. That's 303-LAW-4040.
Follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok at Denver Sports 1043 to stay up to date on all your local teams. Denver Sports 1043. The Fan. Denver Sports Station 1043 The Fan presents Denver Sports Tonight.
All right, the Winter Olympics are in full swing. Been a lot of exciting action. Love watching a sport that I don't know a lot about, but that's not what this segment is about. It's about a sport that Cello and I are both very in tune with, and that would be ice hockey on the men's side.
Hockey.
Women's side's been great, by the way. USA is an absolute wagon, but the men are off and running, and we've seen all the Avalanche in action at this point. Busy day. How much did you pay attention to what happened this morning with Canada and then this afternoon with Team USA?
I would come in here every once in a while because they had it on, and I know I could guarantee that they'd have it on here just to get filled in. I saw that, a little bit of that. I saw a little bit of the U.S. game, and I saw Chloe Kim's first run today. Other than that, when I've tried to turn on the Olympics this year, and it's getting to the events that I'm probably more interested in anyways, but I've only seen like the ice dancing and then Jake Paul's girlfriend win a gold medal. So today was probably the most that I've consumed since the game started.
Yeah.
And it will probably continue to go up because these are the games that I'm interested in.
Yeah, and today was fascinating, man. I watched a lot of hockey today, wrote a lot about it at DenverSports.com. Let's begin with Canada. They take down Team Czechia 5-0 this morning. Nathan MacKinnon gets a goal. Cale Makar gets an assist. Macklin Celebrini, the young phenom from the San Jose Sharks, tipped in a puck from Makar at the very end of the first period. They win 5-0. They look like a wagon. Did you see that McKinnon goal and who assisted? I mean, Nathan MacKinnon is scoring, assisted by Connor McDavid and Sidney Crosby.
It's an embarrassment of riches for that team.
Embarrassment of riches. And then this afternoon, man, Brock Nelson, wow. His first period.
He had the best day out of an Avalanche player, yeah?
He did, but his first period, you could write a book about.
Did he have 2 goals taken back?
Okay, so I'll break this down for you. He gets an assist, and Latvia challenges it for offsides, and it's hard to tell. But they somehow overturn it. Okay, Brock loses an assist. That's a bummer. Loses a point in the Olympics. Then he tips a puck in with his phenomenal hand-eye coordination. It's like, okay, America's up 2-1. This is great. Latvia challenges again. Goaltender interference. And, Jared Bednar always says, I don't know what goalie interference is. Well, I don't know what it is in the Olympics either. It wasn't on Brock. It was on, I believe, JT Miller. Take the goal off the board. Brock Nelson, 3 minutes to go in the first period. Comes in. Hits the goalpost. Think about his first period. Assist taken off for offsides. Goal taken off for goalie interference. Hits a post. What's he do? He doesn't go and feel sorry for himself. He scores 2 goals in the second period. The USA pulls away, ultimately ends up winning 5-1. What an exciting day, though, man. You got Cale with an assist, Nathan with a goal, Brock with 2 goals, Gabe had a goal yesterday. The Avs are the best team in the NHL, and they're showcasing that thus far in Italy, and it's exciting.
Who does Natchez play for again?
Czechia. So he lost 5-0 this morning to McKinnon, Makar, and Tays.
Marty.
What do you make of Brock Nelson? Because there was some him and Han about him being on the team. He didn't deserve it, yada, yada, yada. And then
he proved it today.
He looked like the best player on the ice.
Yeah, for sure. So it's fun to watch because you have that tie to the Avalanche with him. Like, obviously, we're going to root for. Is there a team that you'd be rooting for other than the U.S. in this?
No, Dante asked me that last night. I'm definitely pulling for the U.S. to win gold, but I'm a huge Nathan MacKinnon and Cale Makar fan. Like, I very much hope that it's Canada versus the U.S. in the gold medal game. And I'll be pulling for the Americans, but it's hard to root against Nathan and Cale. I mean, it just is. It kind of goes back to the Serbia conversation with Jokic.
Yeah, that was easy for me too. I love Jokic. There's plenty of time that I can root for him here. But when you wear your country, and I think that's why it means so much for these athletes to go. And we had the discussion. Was it with you last week about Gabe getting healthy and then going and playing for Team Sweden? A lot of people don't like that decision. We'll never know, but if I was ever afforded an opportunity to play for my country, I'd be the same way. Same thing with Lindsey Vonn, knowing that this was her last Olympics. She was going to go all out for it. Something changes for that. And we got a taste of it last year with the 4 Nations, which was awesome.
Yeah, it was great.
Hey, isn't the ice bigger in the Olympics? Isn't the sheet of ice, is it bigger than what an NHL?
It was supposed to be, and then they built it smaller. And that was like a whole big piece of controversy.
It looks smaller.
Yeah, the good news, it did look smaller, but I didn't think it affected the quality of the hockey today.
I'm just talking about camera angles. I'm like, why does it looks like it's smaller than even what we see in NHL games?
Yeah, but I would encourage people to go watch Brock Nelson's second goal.
just unbelievable tic-tac-toe. And he's the recipient of a great pass from Jack Hughes and finds the back of the net. So I don't think it's affected. I haven't watched it going, oh, these guys can't,
move,
paint their artwork because the ice is too small, if you will. Who do you think amongst the Avs that are playing, obviously there's 8 of them, who do you think when it's all said and done 10 days from now, the gold medal's been given out, is going to create the most headlines? We already have some worthy candidates. But who's the Av that's going to be, he's the guy that's most talked about in the Olympics?
Well, if you're right and it's those two competing for the gold medal, I think it'll be a race between McKinnon, Makar, and Brock Nelson.
Based on his start today, yeah.
But with the firepower that Canada has, I want to say it's probably going to be Nathan McKinnon.
And he did get a goal today. He's got the second best odds to win tournament
They
MVP.
just are like, they have the stupidest amount of talent on that team.
Oh, they're so loaded. They're so loaded. You think the U.S. can upset them? Because it would be an upset based on the odds. Not a massive upset, but it would be an upset.
I think so, but when they're in the Olympics, man, it's like that's their nation's sport. That is it.
What's our sport? Football?
It's football now.
Yeah, if we played Canada in football, I think that'd go our way.
Hey, World Baseball Class is coming up here in a short, in a month, right?
Yeah.
Then we'll show the world, Will.
You know what we dominate the world? Actually, I can't even say that. I was going to go hot dog eating. But who was the Japanese dude who won every single year?
Oh, but Joey Chestnut's killed him for a while. Kobayashi?
Kobayashi. But
yeah.
Kobayashi was the dominant guy for a long time.
But now it's all Joey Chestnut, man.
Kobayashi only won once.
Really?
Once?
Oh, I thought he won like 5 or 6 times.
I thought he was well known.
Chestnut's the GOAT.
We may have to look this up. Unfortunately, we're out of time. But it was fun. The Avs are dominating the Olympics as expected. For Dante and Cello, I'm Will. It's DST on the Fan.
You'll never find like mine. Tune into The Rundown with Richie Carney every weekday at noon on YouTube, Facebook, or X. Presented in part by The Birdie Bar, Louisville's premier indoor golf bar experience. Check out this week's live music, trivia, and other fantastic events at thebirdie.bar on the web and Instagram. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Hi, I'm Brad Barnett, president and founder of Mountain High Appliance. Looking for the best deal in town this President's Day? Then stop by our Denver Clearance Center, where you'll find savings of 70% or more on open box, overstock, and discontinued appliances from the industry's best brands, including Bosch, Thermador, KitchenAid, and many more. Hurry in for the best selection, or visit us online and take advantage of these huge President's Day savings. When you think appliances, think Mountain High Appliance.
Mountain High Appliance, your favorite appliance store.
Thank you.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first, on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home for you so you attract the right buyers. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com.
AutoNation's New Year, New Wheels event is going on now. Drive any new or used vehicles 0 down and 0 payments for 90 days. Save thousands on your favorite cars, trucks, and SUVs. Plus, we'll buy your car for top dollar today. Don't miss 0 down and 0 payments for 90 days. Hurry to your nearest AutoNation store or AutoNation.com. On select models with approved credit, interest accrues from date of purchase. See store for details, subject to in-store verification.
This Valentine's, I want to make it really special. Kick it up a notch and tell her exactly how much I love her.
At Williams Jewelers, we've created our one-stop Valentine's package that makes telling your true love exactly how you feel. I'm Steve Williams.
And I'm Bruce Williams. You see, we're one of Colorado's largest fine jewelers with the designer brands she knows and loves, like Tacori and Hearts on Fire.
Thousands of quality, iconic, and yes, affordable pieces you won't find in any other store, starting at under $300.
And now, through Valentine's Day, with every purchase of $250 or more, you get a fresh cut rose and a bottle of wine as our gift.
Guys, it's one-stop shopping.
This year, more than ever, Williams Jewelers in Cherry Creek North.
And Williams Jewelers in Inglewood at Bellevue and Broadway.
We're Denver's first family of fine jewelers.
And your one-stop Valentine's store.
Williams Jewelers.